Glaciolobulus. He's depicted as a dog with the wings of a griffin, a strange mix of loyal pet and mythological beast. Glaciolobulus is said to make men murderous and to cause bloodshed, but he can also tell you about past and future events. Oddly enough, he's also credited with turning friends into enemies and enemies into friends. Imagine a demonic life coach who can't decide if he's trying to start wars or end them. SPYN, also called Bime or Bim. SPYN usually appears as a dragon with 3 heads, one like a dog, one like a man, and one like a griffin. His powers? He can move the dead from one place to another, answer questions, and make people rich. Basically, Boony is the supernatural combination of a gravedigger, an oracle, and a financial advisor. Strange resume, but a useful ally. Ronov. Ronov appears as a monster, though descriptions are vague. What stands out are his abilities. He teaches rhetoric and languages, and he can also provide loyal servants. In a way, he's like the demon of communication, the one you'd want if you were giving a speech in a foreign tongue or negotiating a tricky deal. Berith, also called Beherit or Bullfry. Berith is described as a soldier in red, riding a red horse and carrying a golden crown. He's associated with telling the truth about the past, present, and future, but he's also infamous for encouraging people to lie. So he's both a prophet and a trickster. If you asked him for stock tips, you'd have to wonder, is he giving real advice or just setting you up for disaster? Astaroth. Astaroth is one of the more famous names on the list. He appears as a naked man with dragon wings, riding a pale serpent and carrying a viper in his hand. His breath is said to be so foul that you need magical protection just to withstand it. Despite this, Astaroth is known for teaching liberal sciences and answering deep questions about creation and the cosmos. He's like a disgusting-smelling professor who happens to know all the secrets of the universe. Forneus. Forneus appears as a great sea monster. His gifts are surprisingly positive. He teaches rhetoric, makes people well-liked, and even helps reconcile enemies. Think of him as the supernatural public relations manager. Despite looking like something out of a horror movie, Forneus is actually the one you'd want helping you ace a job interview. Foras. Foras takes human form and is known for his wisdom. He can teach logic and ethics, reveal hidden treasures, and even grant long life. He can also make people eloquent. In short, he's the scholar of the group, blending philosophy with practical magic. Imagine having a mentor who could both tutor you in philosophy and also casually help you find buried gold. Asmodee, also known as Asmodeus or Sidone. This is one of the heavy hitters. Asmodee is depicted with 3 heads, a bull, a man, and a ram, riding a dragon and holding a lance with a serpent banner. Flames burst from his mouth. He's said to teach mathematics, astronomy, geometry, and crafts. He also reveals hidden treasures. It's a terrifying package for a demon who's essentially a teacher. Asmodee is like the nightmare version of your strictest math professor. Gap. Gap appears as a human, but is said to have great power over love and relationships. He teaches philosophy, helps transport people instantly from place to place, and can even summon the spirits of the dead. Gap is both a metaphysical scientist and a romantic manipulator, straddling the line between scholar and sorcerer. Furfur. Furfur shows up as a deer or stag with a fiery tail, but when pressed, he takes on human form. He's a bit of a troublemaker. He causes storms, tempests, and thunder. But he also inspires love between men and women and answers questions about secret matters. So he's a mix between a weather god and a love guru. Picture summoning him for relationship advice and accidentally triggering a thunderstorm. Marchosius. Marchosius appears as a wolf with griffin wings and a serpent's tail, breathing fire. Despite his terrifying appearance, he's described as loyal once summoned. He can answer questions and even promises to return to heaven after 1,200 years. There's almost a tragic quality to him, a fiery wolf spirit who dreams of redemption. Stolas. Stolas is one of the most unusual and memorable. He takes the form of a tall owl, or sometimes a raven, with glowing eyes. His domain is astronomy, herbs, and precious stones. He's essentially the astrologer of the Ars Goetia, wise and mysterious. Picture a giant owl calmly teaching you about the stars. It's one of the most striking images in the whole book. Phoenix or Phoenix. Phoenix appears exactly as his name suggests, a great bird, glowing and beautiful, singing with a sweet voice. He's said to be a poet among demons, inspiring artistry and creativity. But there's a catch. His singing can also lure people into danger, much like sirens in mythology. Still, he represents the idea that even in darkness, beauty and art have their place. Halfas, also called Malthus. Halfas shows up as a stork, of all things. Not exactly terrifying unless you've seen a stork glaring at you. His power, though, is military. He builds towers, fills them with weapons, and commands armies. Picture a bird flapping in with blueprints for a fortress. Strange, but in the logic of the Ars Goetia, it makes sense. Malthus. Closely related to Halfas, Malthus appears as a crow. He's said to be a mighty builder, capable of raising entire houses, castles, or fortifications. But here's the twist. He often deceives, giving people what looks useful but ultimately betraying them. Malthus is the supernatural contractor who finishes your house but leaves you with a leaky roof. Ram. Ram takes the form of a crow as well, but his powers go in a different direction. He can steal treasures from kings, destroy cities, and spread hatred. Yet he also has the ability to reconcile friends. He's like a chaotic neutral figure, sometimes the bringer of ruin, sometimes the unexpected peacemaker. Focalor. Focalor appears as a man with griffin wings. His specialty is causing shipwrecks, storms, and death at sea. However, he is also said to be capable of mercy, sparing those he's ordered to harm. Focalor captures the age-old fear of the ocean, its danger, but also its unpredictable mercy. He's the demon of the stormy sea. Vapar. Vapar appears as a mermaid, or sometimes a woman-like figure connected with the ocean. Her powers are deeply tied to the sea. She governs waters, can guide ships safely or doom them, and can also bring about wounds that fester and kill. Vapor is the embodiment of how water can be both life-giving and deadly. Sabnok, or Sabnok. Sabnok appears as an armored soldier riding a pale horse. His skill is constructing high towers, castles, and cities, but he also has a sinister side. He can inflict wounds with festering sores. He's the medieval fear of war wrapped up in one figure, building fortresses while simultaneously spreading plague. Shax, or Chax. Shax is a bit of a trickster. He appears as a stork like Halfas, but his talent is deception. He can steal money, take away people's sight, hearing, or understanding, and even create illusions. However, he sometimes gives back what he steals. Imagine a supernatural prankster who might blind you one day and return your vision the next, laughing the whole time. Vine. Vine appears as a lion riding a black horse, holding a viper. He has the power to reveal hidden secrets, create storms, and destroy walls and strongholds. Vine feels like the demolition expert of the Ars Goetia, knocking down barriers, whether physical or metaphorical. Bifrons. Bifrons is depicted as a monster who can later take human form. His domain is the knowledge of plants, herbs, and precious stones. He also has a darker side. He moves corpses from one grave to another and lights phantom candles on graves. He's the necromantic gardener of the bunch, blending science with graveyard mystery. Uval, also called Vual or Voval. Uval appears as a mighty dromedary, yes, a one-humped camel, who later takes on human form. His specialty is stirring up love between men and women, revealing hidden pasts and answering questions about the future. He's another love demon, though less flashy than some of the others, and more about intimacy than chaos. Hagenti. Hagenti takes the form of a mighty bull with the wings of a griffin. His power is remarkable. He can turn any metal into gold and water into wine. Yes, he's basically the demon of alchemy and transformation. For anyone in medieval times dreaming of riches or divine power, Hagenti was a tempting figure indeed.